You're such an asshole.
We got a request, and if you got a request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com, and I'll answer your questions for money. Juan writes, hi, Cappy. Happy post-Thanksgiving. This is another data point on women's nature. I would like you to do a video response for this. The other day, I was scrolling on Instagram when I happened to come upon a video with the caption, if you wanted to, he would, link below. Is to Instagram, and I believe it's fake. Just an aside. Let me help you kids out. Is this a real video? Well, ask yourself, in an environment where whatever that is playing out, would there be a cameraman there ready to film it all? Like a lot of these, OMG, shock, look at video of person doing crazy thing. I'm like, boy, that's really fortuitous and lucky someone was filming from that position at that right moment in time. And I'm watching it and I'm like, yeah, this is fake. Especially when they take off on the scooter. I'm like, well, how was the cameraman positioned there? If you wanted to, he would. The video shows a Central American bride and a groom on their wedding day. They are seated together, surrounded by friends and family, when suddenly a young man, most likely an ex-boyfriend, comes in with a gun. I didn't see the gun. And takes the bride by force. He brandishes the gun at the groom and the groomsman as a threat to get out of his way. He and his bride get on a moped and drive off while the groom and groomsmen chase after him. Whether this video was a skit or not, the comment section for the video was quite telling. The women commenting were all kinds of flustered. They were praising the guy for taking her, said that the bride wanted to leave with him and were hoping that the same thing would happen to them. No, they just fell in love with somebody paying them that much attention. Let's just put that guy paid them like the ultimate form of attention. It was fake, it was scripted, but they thought it was real, and they dream of the day somebody paying them that much attention. Now they'll dump the loser guy, whatever. It's what they've been programmed to see in the movie. Like, this shit happens in the movies. And this was a movie because, wow, there's a lot of camera angles that they all got that captured. The ex-boyfriend didn't have anything outstanding about him. He had an average height. He wasn't jacked. He just had the typical build of an early to mid 20-year-old. Really, the two things he had were his gun and the willingness to go through with the whole thing. That was all it took for the women in the comments to swoon and fantasize about being in the same situation. I'm sure some women were just joking about it, but there must have been a percentage of women whose primal urges were triggered as nearly all. You could be biologically triggered, but then still consciously know, like you're moved by a movie, it isn't true. Like Old Yeller really didn't die, okay? But you were still moved by Old Yeller getting killed. But I would say a large percentage of the women, especially those that believed it, were like, oh my God, that's what I want. Today, anyway, or at least this hour. Ask me an hour from now, I want something different. What will it be? I don't know. I'll get that in my mouth. That being said, if women respond to danger and a man imposing as well, why were we taught the correct way to treat a woman if it leads to failure? Do you guys have to go to such extremes to get a woman? Since this video was taken in Central America, a country where crime and violence are more prevalent than the United States, it's not so shocking to the people who live there, who see that as normal. However, for American men who have to put in the work, make sacrifices, and have much to lose, such actions are not an option in the United States. Yes, because it is illegal. Let's just go through what he did. Let's say this happened in the United States and was real. First, brandishing a gun. Okay. That's illegal in most places. Secondly, having a gun visible depends on the states. You're probably breaking some state laws there. Kidnapping. I'm not a cop. I'm going to assume terroristic threats. Disturbing the peace, at least. We're talking felonies plus a lot more, right? You're looking at prison time on this. He is committing crimes and dangerous. Okay, boring. Okay, you're riding a two-wheeled vehicle while holding a gun. Good luck. Endangerment, I gotta imagine. Such actions are not an option in the United States. Right. You will go to jail. Since women want what other women want, and the social media echo chamber reinforces the thought process, if he's willing to insert criminal offense to you, then he really loves you. You nailed it right there. If he's willing to basically throw away his life by getting a criminal record, then he really loves you. And they have been conditioned to believe that. Well, and then what was that horrible movie? Titanic. He ends his life for her, right? And then she's still pining for the guy. It's like, well, he's dead. See, I don't know if you girls know this. To have the guy, he needs to be alive or not in prison. But then what's really dark and cynical about me, I just realized something. It's not that they like the guy. They like that a guy would do that for them. See, if the guy ain't around either because he's dead or in prison, you would say, well, then I don't get to spend time with him. They don't care. It's the fact somebody sacrificed themselves so much, literally sacrificed their lives, either literally because they're now dead or they're in prison. That's a big ego trip. I guarantee you, if somebody did drug testing or endorphin testing, like that has got to be such a huge dump. That has got to be, you think heroin's addictive. Think about the high, if this was real, that girl had. But then the good news is you don't have to be with the guy. So, because, right, if it was to be with the guy, you'd say, whoa, this ain't going to work out because I won't be with him. But if it happens that way, you commit a crime, I think it's just worship. At the end of the day, I really think it's just worship. How much can I get people to worship me? Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to spend time with the guy. Since women want what other women, if he's willing to die for you, really loves you, or commit a crime for him, he really loves you. And they have been conditioned to believe that. Logically, the successful men will see this trend as the new norm and will begin excluding themselves from the dating pool since they are not compatible with those values. And thus the title of this video: men cannot sacrifice their lives to pursue you girls. We can't sacrifice our lives to pass a shit test, lady. I know, like anything else, it's an arms race. A shit test would be like a wedding ring. You know, how much did you spend? A shit test might be whether you grab the girl off the dance floor from the other guy. A shit test, but these are all like legal things you can pass. But as more and more men pass them, like nothing stays in stasis, right? It never stays in stasis. It always has to be newer, better, faster, harder, stronger. And very much like corporate America keeps coming up with new managerial strategies or new things that just makes the product worse and the company less profitable. You go beyond the optimal point. I understand girls got to test you guys, right? You can't have some pushover pussy, right? I get it. I understand the biological point and purpose of shit tests, but they just keep going. They keep going higher and higher and higher, and get more and more ridiculous, like the successive Fast and the Furious movies, that they're not possible. We're reaching limits. Young people can't afford to work for corporations anymore. You don't pay them enough. It's not worth going to college anymore. You're not paying them enough. No one can afford a car anymore. No one can afford houses anymore. I don't mean things are getting expensive. I mean, no, they are out of the budget of nearly everyone. And just like that, girls, your shit tests are not possible. Only the truly dumb and short-sighted or not self-loving, not self-respecting men are going to pass your stupid shit test if it ends up in landing them in jail or dead. Long ago, there was this gal before I lived in South Dakota. I was in South Dakota. There's a gal I met. We were hitting it off, and it was great. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a number from this girl, maybe get laid before I take off. You never know. It was the earlier times when girls like sex, I think. Well, then out of nowhere, also she just starts talking to this other guy, and they're hitting it up. And I was like, hey, what the hell is this? She's like, I'm busy. And the guy's like, yeah, you got a problem? I'm like, whoa. This rapidly approached assault. I'm not saying him assaulting me. I'm saying either me or him getting into a fight, which leads to assault. And now we took one giant step towards jail time. We weren't there yet. No fists were thrown, but it got a lot closer than it was before. Did the girl care about that guy? No. Girl gave me her number. Did she care about me? No, because I called her like 2 days later, say, hey, what's going on? Never heard from her again. But boy, did she get an ego when I went and say, what this bullshit? She's like, oh. Not because she wanted me, perhaps not even the other guy, but man, does she like being fought over. That's what's driving them. The worship they love. They's addicted to the worships. But, I was smart enough to say, I ain't getting in a fight with this guy, right? I'm not ruining my vacation. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to prison. I'm not going to risk a criminal record. Plus, the guy was bigger than me. I'm not going to get the crap kicked out. I don't want to, lose the use of my arm. But even back then, of course, that's the foundation of every Harlequin romance novel is two fucking guys these women would never stand a shot getting in the real world, fight over her truly boring tapioca pudding ass. Oh yeah, the librarian girl that's 50 pounds overweight. Yeah, you got an astronaut and a cattle baron fighting over you in fisticuffs in 1890s America. Sure you do, sweetheart, right. But even if it was not to get a heroin fix of worship, if it was like, I got to prove this, I kind of like him, but I got to make sure he's going to stand up for me. Okay, I get that. Totally get that. You can't have him put his life, career, future, or actual veritable existence on this planet at risk. As time has gone on, really, I'll give you another gigantic shit test. This is an individual. Let me give you a nationwide shit test. American women right now are shit testing American men saying, you going to do anything about the immigrants? You going to do anything about them? You going to do anything about the criminals? You going to do anything about them? I'm like, we would if you'd make it legal, right? Daniel Penny, that was so telling of an instance where the guy actually stood up and defended people on the train, men and women alike. What did they do? They arrested him, tried to throw him in jail. Yeah, nearly every American man I know, except for the Democrats. Oh, you make it legal? We'll clean up house. We'll show you, but that wouldn't be a test. The test is, are you going to commit crimes? Are you going to go to jail? Because if you were to actually I'm not talking like murdering or nothing like that. But if you're actually go grab someone, drag them in, whatever, in ICE, assault, kidnapping, will you do it? Yeah, it's a shit test. We are destroying the country. Are you man enough to stand up to this? It's like, we can't. We can't. There's no way we can. We'll go to jail. Everyone voted on these rules. No violence is bad. We can't defend you. And then every time there's oh my God, I was attacked on the subway. Everyone's just posting a picture of Daniel Penny. It's like, you voted for it, which is the other side. This is the find out part of FAFO. You girls are fucking around, think you're being edgy with your impossible to pass shit tests, which threatens and to this day threatens society. And men are like, no, I got to stay out of jail. Look, I like the pussy. Don't get me wrong. I love the country. I want to defend it. But you know what? Step one is stay out of cages, right? I'm not going to do a lot. And here was that guy, you defend and protect the people on the subway, and you find people of New York, elected politicians, are going to throw them in jail. I got to imagine a lot of girls found him attractive just for the celebrity ship of that. It was ballsy what he did. But he's not as good looking as Luigi. Plus, Luigi was a Democrat, right? Oh, my God. Yeah, how many women is Luigi dating now? I'm sure he gets thousands. Well, they had videos of all the girls like watching Luigi go to prison. Like, ladies, unless it's a conjugal visit, which not a lot of you are going to have, right? You're not going to fuck him. There's not going to be a relationship with him. He's in prison, right? Or he's dead. Or, the two guys fought and the one guy got crippled, so now he ain't attractive no more. He can't lift weights or whatever it is. I know. I'm asking you to think about the consequences of your decisions, which is ridiculous on my part. I know, pissing into the hurricane again. This makes me think in general, if general women's fantasy is for a strong man to whisk them away, which I don't recommend. Here, let me interject again. You know that one of the main sexual fantasies women have is being taken forcibly. Rhymes with raisins, the previous state of raisins, it rhymes with that word, right? Women have a raisin fantasy. Of course, it's with this particular type of guy. I think it was like 57% of them. Yeah, no, 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 I'm not. No. You want to choke me out? No, I actually knew a guy who died from asphyxiation while having sex. No. What? Now you got marks on your throat. What if you change your mind? I really want you to raise me, but not raise. No, no. That might be kinky. You might have the most mind-blowing orgasm being half choked out and being raisined. I don't like prison. I know, crazy. And we're hitting this impossible limit. No, we can't pass your shit tests anymore, ladies. We just can't. Because the cost is our lives. And, the strong man just whisking a woman away, you better be that right guy, man. And furthermore, she might like it then and now in the heat of the moment, and she might but then she finds out whatever. You're not Mr. Perfect. You kidnapped me. We don't know. It's time for you girls to grow the fuck up, live in the real world, set down the fucking Hallmark Channel, and kind of say, "Oh, gee, but I know that's too much of an ask." Is there a way to elicit the same response in women without going to such drastic and risky measures? No, unfortunately not. This is where you got to find the right girl. Okay. This is where I recommend accountants, nurses, although a lot of people disagree with me about the nurses. You need to find women who are raised properly by their fathers, who can identify a guy like, oh, that guy can fix cars. They're exceptionally rare, these women. Go get my book, The Book of Numbers, Analyze the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. But generally, no, you can't. It's an arms race. It's an addiction. When I was drinking, yeah, sure, one shot of booze, that'd be enough. By the time I was done drinking, no, over the course of the day, I'd probably need, to get a good buzz, I need at least 10 shots of good booze over the course of a day, admittedly, not in an hour period. Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. It's the same thing. They need more and more and more. If he really loved you, he'd, in this case, risk prison, risking the shit kicked out of him by the groomsmen, which didn't happen because it wasn't real. What if he accidentally pulled the trigger, I'd have to watch the video again. Did he have his finger on the trigger or just on the guard? Right? Probably a rubber gun anyway. No. I mean, look at what women are expecting of men as a baseline. They want you to go to school from 5 years old to about 24 because a bachelor's degree will not cut it. They want you to not only get yourselves out of debt, but go and make six figures. We're talking pretty much average I know the 666. I don't believe most women want 666. I mean, well, yeah, we'll take it, right? But most women are not that delusional. But the average woman expects you to go to school for all of your childhood, work the remainder of your young years getting out of debt, make a lot of money, somehow have the free time to spend with them while at the same time still continuing to make that money. Inevitably, they won't ever explicitly say it, bail them out of their stupid, worthless degree, subsidize their living, buy a house in the suburbs, get a fancy, nice car. This is average. This is what they're expecting. Oh, and by the way, do all the chores in the house too, because, we're so oppressed and whatever mental load, whatever all this other bullshit is. That's average. That's your entry-level base model car. A lot of women will not be happy with that. And then they'll go find the criminal or the one who, he will. Even think about this. A guy willing to proposition a married woman, that's ballsy. That's going to turn her on. Forget what the ramifications are. A guy's like, I don't care that you're married. Whoa, he passed the shit test right there. And then if you really want him, now you have to do, okay, and there's some healthy, we don't go immediately from just providing the house in the suburbs to committing crime. There's other things. All right, well, now I really hit the gym, or I'll buck for that promotion, or I'll do something very creative. I don't know, you're a musician, or in my case, it was dancing, or, something that separates you from the rest of the guys. But then, you know what? That one guy, the quote bad boy who breaks the rules, because the rules are the test to see whether or not you're going to worship her. Are you going to take a risk for me? I don't know what's left after becoming like the man they all ask for, Mr. 180,000 a year, house in the burb, blah, blah, blah. Like there's nothing left for you but to become a criminal or do something so socially unacceptable you'll be ostracized and excommunicated from society. It's like politicians, like, they get all the money in the world and they have sex with everybody. And then it's like, man, what's left? And then there's Epstein. It's like, hey, do you like 17-year-old girls? Well, maybe I do. There's nothing left. Right? There's no end to it. And as I said before, we're at a state or a place in society where we're hitting hard limits that we cannot pass. We cannot do it. And if we do, society is going to collapse. And you're not going to, good luck fucking a guy who's dead, ladies. I don't know. But then you just sit there and pine, oh my God, 60 years of thinking of the guy who Jack fell to the ocean. Never got to spend any more time with him than that, but he did it for me. Oh, who's this wealthy married guy who's taking care of you? I don't care about him. A man can do everything right and will never be enough. Another man can be a criminal loser who's a leech on her, but he gives her the tingles, and all the other women will take the side of the loser and cheer it. Right, because he broke the rules. It's not that he is a bad boy. It's not that he's evil or bad. It's that he was willing to sacrifice opportunity or his entire life for her. That's what it is, which requires and necessitates bad behavior. Criminal, I'm going to bang your wife. I don't know. I guess kidnapping. But you got to be good looking. Like, right? Average guy like me just can't walk in there. Hey, you're coming with me. Listen up now, Shay. You're coming with me, sweetheart. And this Maluka over here, he's going to sit here and suck tailpipe. Nah, not going to happen. But if he gives her the tingles and all the other women will take the side of the loser and cheer her on. Should a good man take on T-Rash qualities? We have talked about this before, and it's an interesting conversation. So we do actually have a T-Rash in the audience. He kind of comes in and makes a celebrity guest appearance in the comment section sometimes. And what we found out, one, you could take T-Rash qualities on that do not violate law, risk your career, etc. I forgot who it was. He did ankle bracelet game. He wore an ankle bracelet. Girls thought he committed crime, and he did. I forgot what he claimed he did, assault or something like that. But you could always say, yeah, I beat the shit out of this guy who touched my sister, right? Something feminist. Oh my God. Meanwhile, you're going to church and you're mild-mannered accountant. Like what we came to is you basically got to be Batman, right? Or Superman. During the day, mild-mannered accountant or billionaire playboy. But at night, right? You're T-Rash. So on your date, and it's hard. You got to live two lifestyles, right? You got to pose like an idiot gangster thug. You got to wear the clothes. You got to commit to the act. You could be like a retired T-Rash. Oh, yeah, I spent some time in jail. Somebody hurt my mom, and I beat the crap out of them. Securities fraud. Oh, yeah, but I, so you're like, oh. The main T-Rash quality, though, you got to be good looking. I'll tell you that right now. That's the hardest part about being T. You need the six-pack abs. You need to be jacked. You need to be an incredibly in-shape man because they need to be viscerally and physically attracted to you. But then, yeah, you need to display that you are willing to break social rules and mores, legal or not. So will he do it for me? But then it's like, yeah, it's a tremendous obligation on your part. All right, going to the gym, which you do anyway, fine. That's a tremendous obligation. But then you gotta wear an ankle bracelet. Like, I understand why he's doing it, but like, I'm not wearing an ankle bracelet. I'm sorry, man. I got shit going on. The way to win is not to play. Look, if you ladies got this delusional that we got to go commit crimes to prove, fuck that shit. No, we're not doing it. Go fuck off. And you got to put on an act. Like, do you really want to deal drugs? Do you really want to have illicit substances? Like, I'm sure you could get ones that are not felonies. You could sort of be the bad boy. You can get into martial arts. That's a way to kind of have T-Rash qualities. Like, you actually spar and get into like a structured martial art. It's not you actually getting in a barroom fight, but it's close. Motorcycles, typical, put on the veneer of a bad boy. If so, what T-Rash qualities can an honest man take to lessen the probability that his woman would ever want to divorce or cheat on him? Well, 1, you never get married. 2, she's going to cheat on you, she's going to cheat. Right? Here's another error you're making that I'm going to assume you're a younger man. You are failing to realize there are 2 people involved in this relationship, you and the woman, and you don't control her. You only control 50%. What you control is yourself, and above all else, your reaction and expectations of the relationship. And it's just way easier. Here's how it's going to work. You want to be T-Rash in a way that's congruent with being a good man. Have boundaries. You're not fucking other men. You're not getting fat. Here's an egg timer. You got 2 minutes to talk to me about your boring ass shit at work. Otherwise, we're moving on to fun playtime. And the ultimate T-Rash thing that you can do that is legal and congruent with being a good man and doesn't throw you to jail is you say, and there's the door. You use the nuclear option early and often. I don't care how much you love her. You think she's great. There's the door. You fuck around. You do X, Y, or Z. You get it. There's the door. And the second she does it, you kick her out. Which means, like, see, you're still under this concept, like, well, I'll have this girl forever and all day. Those are so rare, so exceptionally rare. The only way to make sure a woman doesn't cheat on you or screws you over one way or is to not care. Sorry. Lay down the law. This is how it's going to be. And then girls like, oh my God, he's like laying down. Like he said, no, I can't buy that. Oh my God. Telling him no. That's kind of T-Rash qualities, legal T-Rash qualities. Telling him, you are second in my life. I'm first in my life, my peace and serenity. There will be no arguing. You will obey me. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out. That's about as T-Rash as you can get as a law-abiding citizen. But you really got to put her second place, man. Like, nope, you're not doing that. But yeah, a girl can cheat anytime. And it would help you outside the context of this conversation, how to be T-Rash. Just like you have to understand you don't control this whole thing. You could be the best T-Rash ever. She could find a better T-Rash. Or Thaddeus, AI fake billionaire T-Rash. Whatever they can find. Saudi Prince T-Rash. Whatever. A better, different type of T-Rash. I don't know. There's Pokemon cards for them. That's it. You got to realize that's another human being. They're going to make their own choices and decisions. So yeah, you can make it's so much easier that way. Yeah, if you want to make these choices, you can be with me voluntarily or not. You don't want to be here? Get the fuck out. It's cool. But no, you're not going to your party with your girlfriends at the nightclub. No, you're not. It's not. Well, you can, but I won't be here when you get back. Lessen the probability this woman want to divorce him. Be in shape. Hold your frame. The girls that liked me the most were the ones where I did not treat them. I never treated a woman poorly. Probably could have treated some better, but I never treated them poorly. But I didn't just, whatever you want. So I didn't try to make them happy. Largely because I had more important shit going on, like finding food. No, I can't do that. No, I'm not doing that. No, you're not there. You can't. I don't have time. One gal like, would you go out with me? No, why not? Because you don't have sex. Well, I'll do a lot of other stuff. No, we're not having this stupid fucking conversation. We're not having sex. Get the fuck out of here. That's the best way. Using the word no is the best way for a law-abiding man to be T-Rash. But it also helps that you're in incredible shape. That will lessen the chances of divorce or cheating. And then selecting the right girl, that's another thing to do. Or is that question not even worth asking since her actions are out of his control? There you go. You hit it, kid. Great. No, you made the epiphany. Good. Yeah, you're getting it. Would it come down to the caliber of woman? Yes. Yes. You would choose to be within the first place. Yes. All the above. Yes. Is it required for a man to be dangerous and exciting to keep a woman's interest? Exciting, maybe dangerous as long as it's legal. Like, I won't lie, some of the mountain climbing I've done, you're going up a cliff. Not like El Capitan, but like you fuck up, you're gonna be hurting or dead. Girls kind of like motorcycles. Yeah, it's a little risky. Having sex in public. Not that that's a kink of mine, but like, yeah, let's go over here. Like, oh my God, what if we got arrested? We'll get a misdemeanor. So what? It's one of those things you run for office later. Didn't you have sex at a park? You goddamn right I did. And I regret nothing, Senator. You damn right. And I'll do it again. Be dangerous to keep a woman's interest on top of him providing stability, resources, and shelter. No, stability, resources, and shelter, that's boring. That's Snoresville. If stability, resources, and shelter was like sought after, Chad Elkins would have a shit ton of women throwing themselves at him. I had to sit one of the clients down and say, look, if I'm going to set you up with this guy, you're not fucking around no more. It's no bullshit. He's a quality man, and knock it off with that party girl crap. Yeah, no, if stability, resources, and shelter were sought after, Asian dudes would be dominating in the dating market. Must a man change who he is so that the relationship or marriage doesn't go stale or have a risk of infidelity? Yeah, you do. It helps. Like, let's start off the bat. You need to be an interesting, good, high quality man, period. Right? That's just a great policy because everything starts working in your favor and it's less work. Going to the gym is less work than going and getting a master's degree. Okay. It's just less work. So that's more efficient. And in defense of women, you got to have good personality. You got to be funny. You got to be charming. There has to be something about you. You have to have another thing you do, like a hobby, whatever it is. Of course, mine was ballroom dancing and hiking and motorcycle riding, right? Guns, whatever it is. You got to have that thing that you really like. And you got to flirt with, you got to make her laugh, right? But at the same time, what really is going to keep it together is telling her no. And the only thing that gives that threat teeth is when it's like, and there's the door. You have to be willing to walk away. And she has to know that. And you can't care if she cheats on you. If she cheats on you, oh, that's the way that one went. All right, goodbye. What? No. What? Goodbye. See you later. Good luck. I'm not even upset. At least I know. You move on. But yes, in addition to everything I listed beforehand, you have to say no and hold standards. It's a pain in the ass, man. It's a pain in the ass. But every guy's got it. You have to have these conversations with women. Like, you have to stop. I mean, when a girl says, are you listening to me? You don't say, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You don't lie. Say, no, I'm not. What? And I'm not. Why not? I'm like, you're not saying anything interesting. You have every right to say that. I'm not your slave till death do us part to listen to you talk about bullshit at work. This is why the egg timer thing that Vince over at Masculine Geek recommends. Then that saying no is like, what? You're not like the other pussy men in Minnesota. I'll show you. I'll sleep with you and be a better behaved woman. It's fascinating how it works. Like if you don't spank your kid, well, they turn into assholes, right? The kids would get spanked. You could tell the discipline. They become engineers and then they love their mother and show up for Christmas. Same thing with women. Like, oh yeah, you could do whatever you want, dear. Whatever you want, dear. Whatever you want, dear. Like, knock it the fuck off. Some of the best relationships I had, there were 3 women where they were talking too much and I had to interrupt them. I say, stop talking because they're embarrassing themselves and consequently me. I'm like, stop talking. Just shut up. You're not that interesting right now. You're not saying anything. You're boring people. Shut the fuck up. Those tended to do well. Yeah. So at no point in your time you threaten your own life to get tail. At no point in your life do you risk a criminal record, a compromised, crippled career, crippled finances, jail time, or death or injury to pass some female shit test. If the girl's like, you and him fight, oh, I'm going to go flirt with this other guy. Cool, go. See you later. Bye. That's the only way to pass those shit tests. But then you wouldn't want a girl. And then this gets back to the whole point like, how do I prevent my woman from? These are other people that have a choice. I don't care how much they act like I'm just a girl and I don't know. Make my decisions for. Oh my God, it just happened and he slipped and his dick fell inside me. No, they know they have agency. Force them to use it. Right? Hey, we're having a good time. We're talking. I got your number. Cool. I'll give you a call. Why are you talking to that other guy? What's going on there? Like, she has agents. Like, okay, cool. I'm not done with this. You chose to go over. It's not she's flighty and didn't know what to do. It's not a sudden lightning bolt of hypergamy struck her. She went after the no. She chose to play a game. Fuck you, not acceptable. Goodbye. It's about the only way you could be T-Rash. The only way. But although, I mean, like if you're younger and you got, yeah, sure, wear the ankle bracelet, dress like a buffoon. I'm a lonely loner, all alone. I'm a bad boy. You guys watch, what the hell was it? IT Crowd. I'm a lonely loner, all alone. All right, super chat. Ken Rose says hi for $2. Hello, Ken. Driss Crab for 5 British pounds. I messed up this super chat earlier, but meant to say the 50s had the lowest femicide, female homicide rate. Most femicide is from divorce. Yeah, well, you know whose problem that is? Theirs. Women's happiness is not our responsibility. It's not, we're not, no. Ladies, go make yourselves happy. This is all you. We're done with this shit. Sweet kisses from trucking, $5. Travel. It's really location-based neuroticism. Every chick I've met elsewhere doesn't have this. Die for my love shit U.S. women have. Okay, good to know. I do know the handful of foreign gals I dated, not Asian women who are American and brought up here, but like actual Asian women or Latinas who were overseas. Yeah, there was none of this drama. I remember a very pleasant date, though there just wasn't any chemistry with a Japanese girl. And it was nice. She showed up on time. She was very pleasant. I drove her around the lakes in the Twin Cities, and she got me a little kachki. It was nice. It was very nice. None of this going to a bar. I'm not. No, just no. I'm done worshiping women. I'm not sacrificing anything at your altar anymore, let alone my time or money or pride. You go do your thing. I'll be over here. Sweet kisses from Truckin' again, $5. Also, learn an instrument. Oh, okay, yeah, good idea. Nuke plays piano as well. I play piano, be between 10 to 15% body fat, and only date 5 to 7s. 8s and above are crazy. Interesting. You would say 8, 9s, and 10s, so the top 30% is crazy. I wouldn't do 9s and 10s. 8s would, maybe I'm too optimistic. I always held out for an 8. I don't have an 8. I have a 7. Maybe 7.5 if she gussies up. Maybe you're younger than me, Truck, and maybe you're right. 8s and above are crazy. 4 and below are practice. Yeah, I'm not okay. Speaking of limits, I can't get it up for an ugly chick. Maybe that's the next title of my book. It's not going to happen. Bob, $5. If you're not good looking, the only way to find a woman genuinely interested is to fight people or be a really good singer. Yeah, then you got to go to the celebrity route. Be good. Step 1, be good looking. That's your easiest route, all of this. Right? Go to the gym, get in shape. A lot of these problems go away. Not all of them, but a lot of them are lessened. All right, there we go. Link below is a link to my Amazon affiliate program where you should do all your Christmas shopping. We got 24 days to Christmas. Oh, it's the first. 24 days to Christmas. Do all your Amazon shopping, Christmas shopping through that link. Go to assholeconsulting.com. asshole.com/Amazon, assholeconsulting.com/Amazon. There is a logo and then also a link. It doesn't matter which one you click it, you do your shopping, and you buy your crap. Do not use your phone. Do not use your phone. Use a computer like a boomer. And it doesn't matter if you click on the link, log in, and then shop, or you click on the link, shop, and then log in. As long as you click on that link first, I get a 5% commission and cut. You don't pay anything extra. And McKinsey and Jeff Bezos pay the difference. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.